Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. It's Theresa here. Today we're going to get spooky and scary in my October daily album for 2021. And so this is my first time doing October daily. It's such a fun experience and I'm so excited to jump back into this album, and especially looking forward to October this year and participating in this project again. And so what I have here is day 4. And I'll tell you the story here in just a moment. Let me tell you some of the products that I'm working with. I'm going to use a pocket page that's 4 3x4 pockets. I've got 2 photos planned. And then I'm working with this cut file by Samantha Walker. I purchased it in the Silhouette Design store, and it is design number 4828, Positionable Skeleton. I will link Samantha's shop below and the product ID number so that you can locate it and use it for yourself. And what I've done here to begin with is cut it out in plain white cardstock. And what I thought I would do, my story for the day is about this school project that Nick had. And so he comes to me after dinner that evening and he says, "Mom, I have a school project due tomorrow. We have to create the human skin cells." And I really didn't have any idea what he was talking about. But his anatomy teacher in high school wanted them to create the human skin cell in 3D just using common household items. And so he asked for my help and we pulled it together. He did so much of the heavy lifting. I just advised a little bit and I took photos of the finished project so he could submit it. And for the finished project, he had to lay down next to the skin cell that he had designed, so that it was proof that he had done it, that he had done the assignment and that he had done it that night. And so I thought my concept for the page was to recreate Nick as a skeleton and the way he's laying down on the floor next to his project. And I hope that you'll pop over to the blog and check out this adorable little assignment that he turned in. It's actually a pretty big thing, but it was so funny. And the best part was that he went out in the garage and brought in the hedge trimmer to use as a hair follicle. And that's the point at which we all got a little slap happy, and it was just so funny. And looking back on that now, it's just so fitting with Halloween. And so you can see how, like, once I cut out the skeleton and I kind of laid it out here, it was kind of big. It was a bit bigger than I had anticipated. I don't know what I had thought of, but then I also was like trying to figure out, how am I going to incorporate this thing into the project? And so this is sort of how this page design has evolved for me. And I love sharing that because I hope that you're inspired from watching my processes, that you're inspired to let the product lead you on your creative process. And it makes for some fun little pages that nobody else has. So once I cut all those white pieces out, I decided that it should be backed with black pieces. And so I went back into the Silhouette, offset all of those pieces a little bit, and cut it out using black cardstock. And so now I'm going to adhere all of the little white pieces onto the back pieces. And I think what I'm going to do is, because it's a positionable skeleton, so you can sort of move it and stuff, I want to do hinged limbs so that you can move the arms and legs. And so I'm just trying to figure out, like, how do I want that to work? And also, how do I want to fit it into the album? And so what I'm going to do, and you'll see that here in just a few minutes, I'm going to put it together the way that I think it should go. And then I'm going to get some brads and attach everything together using these brads. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a little bit of music while I grab all of those brads and put it all together. And then I'll come back and I'll chat with you about the rest of the layout. Okay, so I think that I'm figuring out, since the skeleton turned out to be a bit bigger than what I anticipated, I think I'm going to stop right there and tuck it into that bottom pocket. So it looks like he's kind of popping into the page. Check that out. Check out how cute he is. And when I actually tuck him into the pocket, one, I love that his arm hangs out a little bit past the edge of the page protector. But I also have a little bit more room, and so I'm going to add the little pelvis. And I think that's how I'm going to leave him for the purposes of this page. And I just have to say, I had so much fun putting this together and turning to this page and seeing how I made Nick into a skeleton. And then, of course, after I had the page done, I showed it to Nick and the other kids, and we just had a great time laughing about that. And look, I made Nick into a skeleton. So that was just so much fun, and I hope that that inspires you to try this out and find a fun story to put this page idea with for your own album. And I also decided, because this cute little skeleton takes up a lot of space on the page, I'm just going to use the one photo, and I think that's plenty. I think one photo is plenty to convey the idea for the page. It keeps it simple. And I'm just going to pull a couple of kind of random things from my stash to fill the other pockets. And so, of course, I need a journal card here, and I'm going to combine the number 4 for the day. That's what day it is. I believe that the number 4 is a Tim Holtz number. Love those big graphic numbers, just a little bit of distress on them. And I'm not really sure the card. I'm going to look back in my stash and see if I can find where the journal card came from. And I'll include that in the blog post that goes with this video so that you can find those, locate those yourself. And that makes a really simple journal card here, and just a quick little write-up about how this, what this even is. It was definitely a fun project to do with him, and we had so much fun pulling that all together. And like I said, the using the hedge trimmer was just, that was the thing that that still cracks me up a little bit. And so now I got to figure out, what do I want to do behind the skeleton? And in theory, like, you could leave those pockets blank if you wanted to. Or I thought about, what about putting sequins behind it? I don't know. That seemed a little bit not really suiting to Nick's personality, though. And so I was going to try just a couple of different journal cards. And then I thought, well, if I use journal cards, then there probably would be two different cards, one for the top and one for the bottom. And I didn't really know, how would that be more, would that look more busy, and would it detract from our cute little skeleton friend? And I didn't really want to do that. But I'm going through all my all my fall and all my Halloween journal cards here just to see. And I also didn't really know, like, should I do cards with color on them? Should I do black and white cards? It was just kind of a, like, I didn't even know. to be honest, I didn't really know. And so I pulled this little leftover piece of a pattern paper. This is from Crepe Paper After Dark, which was a collection they did a couple of years ago. And to this day, it remains my favorite crepe paper Halloween collection ever. And I just cut that. It was a 4x6 piece that I had left over. And so I cut that in half and put the stars behind the skeleton. And then look at this. I put a little enamel heart for his little heart there. And that completed the layout. Okay. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you had a good time watching this process. And hop over to the blog and check that out for all the links and all of the detailed photos. And I'll see you back here again soon. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.